Brenda says hello. Start my vacation today. Yeehaw.
Hi, Brenda. Hi, guys. Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. Today is I forgot already.
You're going to be binding the quilt that you
Today,
just quilted last night.
I am binding. I got to trim and bind the memory quilt, the last number 2 of the client's quilts made from Random Clothing Quilts. So if you're new to my channel, head down that way, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, get notifications when I'm live, and don't forget to like, share, and comment on my videos. Anyway, so, oh, come on. Scott will be the one reading the comments. I need to trim this first, but I'm just going to wait till people get on. I gave it a half an hour notice. And hi, Teresa. So I need to trim this, and then I'm going to cut the trimmings into binding and then sew the bind. And oh, I also have to put the tag on as well. So that I need to also do after I trim it, and then I'll add the tag while I teach Scott how to iron binding. I can do that part. Hi, Carol. Hi, Kathleen. So I'm tired. Shower. I'm awake enough to sit here and get. I doubt I'm going to get to the last one, which is the third, just throwing it in there quilt to use up the rest of the cuts, which is sitting behind me with its brown backing already. But I need to franken-piece some batting together, and I really don't think I'm going to get time to do that today. But when I do, I will record franken-piecing batting to make a quilt, and I will be doing it on the Brother machine, which I'll take off that table there and put it here because it'll be easier on a bigger table to franken-piece polyester batting, the fluffy stuff, because I have quite a few cuts that I can sew together. That shall be another video, most likely, because it's not going to happen during this one. This is just finishing off this series. So hi, Heather. So thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to pass this off to Scott, and I am going to lay this on the table and just start trimming away, because it's not that hard to do. And you guys should be able to see at least all what I'm doing right here. So
It's big.
yep, it's big. Got to make it work.
Okay, okay.
I'm trying to find this part right here. No, that part right there. Yep.
Okay.
Throw everything this way. You can go out of the way now. You're good. Stay on comments, mister.
I wasn't in your way. Calm down.
So I'm gonna trim this up.
Emily's here. She says hello.
Hi.
I keep missing the lives. Glad I finally got one.
Well,
And hi everyone. They all say hi to me. So
I'm gonna start by trimming the top off, which is a sheet. I told you guys I use sheets, so I'm gonna trim this sheet up off of here because I won't be using this top part.
do you want me to do that since it hurts your wrist?
No, I'll be fine.
Okay.
For now, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm not doing a ton of stuff today.
Okay. Nancy says hi. Hi, Nancy.
Hello.
Kathleen's gonna listen in. She's about to nap.
That's fine. You notice I'm trimming on the short edge today of the table. That way I'm right in front of you guys so that you can see what I'm doing.
Joyce. Joyce says hi.
Hi, Joyce. Hello to everybody joining in. And I'm keeping the sides long because those are what I'm cutting for binding. This is just going to go in my trash fabric.
Hi, Jim. Jim says hi.
Hi, Jim. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. We watched a movie What did we watch?
Equalizer.
Equalizer with who?
Denzel.
With Denzel and, well,
Uh,
mainly Denzel.
Yeah. Denzel Washington.
He's a badass in that movie.
Joyce says it's laundry day.
Oh, fun. I gotta do laundry. Well,
What are you
Scott
worried
has
about?
to
I
do
do your
laundry.
laundry.
All my fluffy pajamas are in the laundry.
I do your laundry. What are you worried about?
Scott's the laundry man. Because it gives him something to do. Always has.
I've been the laundryman for ages. Boy, that's making a lot of nasty little.
Yes, it makes a mess. This is the messiest fabric on these quilts. See?
Yes.
Look at that mess. It literally makes a huge mess. And I just throw it on the floor. It's nice to have a table that you can hang things over when trimming a quilt. Should I just toss? Oops. Excuse my language. I feel like I'm in the room by myself sometimes. It's so quiet in here. No comments to read?
No, not since Jim said hi. And Joyce said laundry day.
That is straight. Oh, so what is everybody doing today? Anybody sewing? Quilting?
Well, we know Joyce is doing laundry. And Kathleen's about to nap. And Suburban's here. She says hi. Hi, Suburban.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Trimming quilts usually goes pretty quick.
Emily's doing laundry day too. She's folding clothes. Must be a common thing for today.
Yep. Friday afternoon laundry.
Carol is fixing to sew on Cleo blocks.
I need to finish mine. You guys you need to keep reminding me, Tiffany, finish your Cleopatra blocks.
It's because you have 200 things going at once.
Well, that's
my
because
love.
this came in to do, so that is why. All right.
Suburban is packing up fabric, trying to figure out where to store it. Blah,
So
she
it
says.
is now trimmed. You can, for now, I'm just going to lay it out of the way because what I want to do is take these, and like I said, it's sheets. So what I do is I am going to cut this end off.
And Harry says, different day, same quilt.
Yeah, just trying to get it done. And so that I know which side is top and which side is bottom of a sheet, I always look at the way it is folded. So if it is folded inward, that means now this is my outside, my right side out. And I line the edges. I don't cut that off right away. I make sure that I line all that up.
Teresa's doing laundry too, getting ready to go to her son's for a few days. Goodness. Nancy's doing laundry too. Since her surgery, she only stays awake long enough to watch her videos. So she's doing laundry too.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Everyone's doing. Today seems to be the laundry day.
Yep, Fridays. All right, so now I'm going to be cutting 2 3/4 inch. I know that's weird for binding, but because I use such thick batting, using 2 3/4 inch binding purposely to fill in that extra little gap of thickness. So technically I only need 4 strips because this is the same length, if not longer, than the quilt. Because this is the whole side. So I might be able to get all 4 strips nicely out of this. And I will sew them together. I don't even think I need to make an extra 5th one. I'm pretty sure these 4 will be perfect. Throw that down, toss all of that crap out of the way. And now I'm just going to, now that I know this is still my outside, I'm going to keep them facing that way purposely because it is sheets. So some people don't think you can use sheets as binding and backing and all that. Just know that you can. I'm going to sew them together the same way I sew any binding together. So I'm just bring them right sides together. And I'll sew from one corner to the next. I also need to make sure that I have a nice stitch length. And then I'm going to bring this whole entire thing now right side up by just flipping it. Grab this one. This is my right side, that part that you guys can see. I'm going to put it downward. So it goes pretty quick when the strips, there's only 4 strips to cut. It also goes quick because I don't have to worry about any seams landing in the corner. As long as my first seam don't land in the corner, the rest of the seams will not land in any corner. So it'll work out perfect. So if you're making a random clothing quilt, make sure that you're using all recyclable fabrics, like sheets. You can even go as far as using a blanket as your lining, or I mean as your batting, because that works too. I've done that times because blankets are pretty awesome, especially like wool blankets.
Well, Suburban says laundry never ends. She has both the washer and dryer running and the dishwasher.
Oy, oy, oy.
Nancy's kind of like you. She says since her surgery, she only wears her fleece pajamas and she's running out. You just mentioned that at the beginning of this video.
Yep.
You're running out of your pajamas.
I can't run out of my fleece pajama pants, but my favorite ones end up in the laundry all the time because I use those so often. And you can plug in an iron now.
Awesome.
Because while I show you what to do real quick with this, I will put the tag on the quilt.
Where's your... What are you over here?
Yeah, just carefully without tangling it. There we go. I'm going to have Scott press this.
The big dog. Did we show off the big dog?
Not yet.
It's beeping at us. It's beeping at us.
Ouch, that was my butt. All right.
Jim says at least you don't have to use a ringer washer and hang out to dry anymore.
So, just give me that. While I'm here, I need to thank
Weighs a ton.
Teresa, because you guys are going to see it and you're going to ask. I have me a new iron that I got for Christmas from Teresa. It is a reliable, I almost said that wrong, and it's a generator velocity sensor. It like literally continuously if your hand is on the sensor right here when it's heated up, obviously, and it's kind of on the heavy side. So those of you who aren't used to a heavy iron, this thing's like 10 pounds.
It's a beast.
It's a beast. But this, we had been using it now for 2 days, and oh my goodness, this thing, the continuous steam, it pressed the backing of the quilt so fast. And then I was pressing other things and I was like, wow, like seriously, this is amazing. So this is going to be the iron that's always on the ironing board. And I will, and I promise, Teresa, keep it away from all vinyl fabrics.
Teresa says it's only 4 pounds. It's a
That's
beast.
not 4 pounds. But see, my hand is on there. It continuously steams. I love me a good steam iron. As soon as I let go, it stops steaming. So yeah, this thing is pretty darn awesome. And then the Panasonic will be for when I just make blocks and I'm like literally right here and I use my little portable thing. So yeah, I'm going to show Scott real quick how to fold this in half for those of you that are new and you're watching your first video. What we're going to do is we're going to take this piece that we made binding, make sure that your seam is facing upwards towards you, and all we're going to do, if I can make sure that it's staying upward towards me, right there, there we go.
You had it on here and you took it off?
Yeah, so that I could show
Oh, okay.
how this works.
Okay.
Hold that right there for 2 seconds. We're going to show how this works with my butt sitting down. We're going to take this and we're going to fold it. No, you got to watch. Fold it in half like this onto itself and line up the edge, both the edges, and then press it. As you're lining it up, you could just stick your thumb in it or whatever, like that, and just continuously go. For those that don't know how to make binding.
Teresa says I'm looking to see how heavy mine is. She's weighing them.
Yeah, it definitely feels heavier than 4 pounds, that's for sure. So this is how it's made, and I would not recommend sitting here and doing each individual piece like this, little by little. I would say use the long ironing board for this. Scott's looking on the box now to see how much this thing weighs.
I don't know if it says. We'll find out.
Anyways, that's how binding is pressed. So you just fold it in half, you match the 2 sides, and then fold it and fold it and fold it and fold it and fold it. While my cat tries to attack it now because he will attack it. That's what he's doing. He's like, string? What? Ever since the Scott comes in here all the time now, my cat comes in here all the time.
He follows me.
No, no, no. Alright, so I'm going to get this completely started because
she can't find it. She says she's going to have to Google it later.
I wonder if it says it on here.
Hi, Kim. Kim says hi.
Hi, Kim. Confirms this, sister, blah, blah, blah. Nope, it just says what it is. It doesn't say how, but it is very sensitive. See? My hand. Very sensitive.
Irvin says, why is it that I despise ironing clothes, but a quilt project I don't mind?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind ironing quilt projects either.
Do you want me to do this? You can go sit down and do other stuff?
Look.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Exactly even. Exactly even. Just like this. I use my fingers to line it up. And I just run it all the way down. Like this.
Teresa says you can shut off the steam.
Yeah, the little button right here. I like it on.
She likes her steam.
And then when you get to these right here, you just push them to one side.
Okay. Well, then you have at it. I'll read comments.
Fine. Be that way.
Well, you seem to want to do it all. You always want to take over. You always complain I don't help, but then every time I try and do something, you don't let me.
Alright, well, I'm not in camera if he wants to just turn the camera facing this way, I guess.
That's what I'll do. I can help out
So
by doing the
iron
camera.
It's kind of heavy, but it when it's laying down, hard to slide it along your project.
That'll be my technical
It's
job.
Picking up and setting down part that is a little on the heavy side.
Linda says hello.
Hello. Oh,
Hi,
it
Kim.
presses so nicely. And I do love a corded iron for stuff like this because that way I don't have to keep putting it on the charger. That's, I think, more for single blocks only.
Nita says, hello, quilty friends. What did I miss?
Didn't miss anything. I just cut and now I'm pressing binding to put on the memory quilt.
She showed off her new iron, Nita.
And showed off my new iron. Because I figured you guys were going to see it and ask anyway in future videos. So I might as well get that part out of the way.
I'll clean off your desk here. You got fuzzies all over. How about that?
And it's also an anti-spit iron, so it's not supposed to spit water at you, like some irons do when you put water in them.
Nancy says the iron's supposed to be 3.9 pounds, so 4 pounds.
So you guys looked it up online?
I guess. That's what Nancy says.
Yeah,
Linda says, I'm sure that Squeak is very depressed.
garage to long arm quilts. No, long arm quilts. That way I can iron the quilts on the long arm as needed. Because sometimes I get like a wrinkled area from it hanging on the quilt or hanging on the long arm for too many days. So sometimes I have to give it a press while it's on the frame.
Nita asks, why a new iron?
Why? Because it was sent to me as a Christmas gift. It's big thanks to Teresa. She's here right now.
Yep.
Why? Because she probably realized that I ruined another iron or she really likes it herself and sent it to me because it's an awesome iron and I love steam. And I don't really know much about irons besides the ones that I buy really cheap to have for, every time I run out of an iron. So she spoiled me with an iron for Christmas. It makes beeping sounds if I change the mode on it too.
Wants to let you know. The cat is staring quite intently at the pile that you're throwing on the floor, like he just wants to go and jump in it.
Yep, he does. He's a weird kitty.
Linda says, I'm sure you said this before, but what kind of iron is it?
It is a reliable. Reliable. It's a velocity. What does it say on the box, Scotty?
Do you want me to read the box?
Yeah, show him the box.
Velocity 230 IR. By Reliable.
It continuously steams if you want it to. You can turn that off, but so far it's awesome.
And she really likes it.
Besides the weight. That's the only thing that...
That's why I said I'd do it for you, but no.
After a while I'll get used to it, though, I'm pretty sure.
No.
It beeps to tell you it's warming up. It beeps to tell you when it's at the temperature it needs to be. It doesn't have a dial like most irons.
Teresa says, because of the steam, I love it, and it doesn't spit, and you needed it.
Yeah.
And Kim finally got 2 hands of fudge made. She's going to make us hungry.
Oh, yes.
Teresa says it's heavy for her as well.
That's fine. Though once it's laying down like you see it now in this position, it's not that heavy because it slides across your ironing surface.
And Kim was saying that her Rowenta spits like crazy sometimes.
My Squeak spits. Squeak also leaks out of the bottom still. When I took it apart, I could never figure out why, but it does. And Squeaks also.
Kim says, hang in there, Scott. It's a new toy, and you got to play with new toys. Meaning you doing it all.
Yep. You can hear the sounds it makes. But you can see, continuous steam, let go. No steam. Put your hand on it, steam. So you can literally hold this in your closet and steam your clothes. Or, because it doesn't spit and you have a cold, you can just breathe it in and I don't know what it would help with, but maybe it'll open up your pores in your face or something.
Teresa said she looked at the reviews before she got it. And Nancy says I'm craving something sweet. No, they're talking about fudge.
All right, here we go. Here's some binding made.
Kim says that is awesome.
Okay, I'm going to throw that down there, but I'm going to start by putting this tag on.
Am I leaving it plugged in? Is it going to stay on or should I unplug it? Yeah, here, I'll hand you this and I'll turn the camera.
All right, so what I need to do is this tag. If you guys remember last night, I quilted this.
Hold on, let me turn the camera.
But I left this 43 open, right? Down here. And I didn't think anything of it because I never do. Here's my tag. It needs to go behind the 3 right here, but on the back side. It needs to sit literally like this. And then I'm just going to stitch it right on, literally on top, my stitch line will go between the 3 and the 4 and then around this side right here. So what I need to do to make it land right there is lay this where I want it to land.
You have to measure.
Okay, this is what I was trying to tell you guys that I did the other day. I'm gonna lay it where I want it to land, literally like this. And I'm gonna come in with my ruler and go, it is 12 3/4 in this way. And it is 12 even that way. So 12 up, 12 3/4 in. I'm gonna turn the whole thing around. So we're gonna go 12 in right here. We're gonna lay that down right there, and we're gonna go 12 3/4 up. So we're gonna be pushing it up.
I think you said that backwards.
No.
I thought it was 12 3/4 in and 12 up.
Molly.
Just flip it over here real quick and just do from this side. Right here.
Right there. Oops.
Is this 12 3/4 or is this the 12?
This is the 12 3/4.
Okay. So 12 3/4 on that. Then you're
All
right.
right.
I'm sorry. I could have swore you said it different.
12 3/4 and 12 this way. Exactly. So this is where I want it to land. And oops, I totally forgot that I need
Suburban said that would be
my
awesome
paper.
for curtains. Yes, it would.
Just remember 12 3/4 and 12, please. I need some double-sided glue paper. And I need it to be this big. The iron still on?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I'm going to need it.
Yeah, I asked you if I turned it off and you never answered me, so it's fine.
I'm going to put some double-sided glue paper on the back of this so that I can glue this on to the quilt. Come on. Right there. I want it right there. And lay that on here and cut around. Right there. Why am I doing this? So that way it can be glued to the quilt.
Linda says, well, I'm late
And
to the
then
party, but I
stitched
made
on.
it. Hi, Linda. Late to the party.
All right, so for this this is oh my gosh, now I can't even think of it. Wonder Under. It is paper on one side, glue on the other side. Rough glue, silky paper.
What's the
I'm
difference
going to
between
be-
that and the infusion
Because
stuff
this
that you
is
use
for
on the top?
applique. This is for applique, for like putting
the piece
pictures and
specifically.
stuff on things.
Okay.
This is a paper. So when I glue this onto here, like that, on the back side of my tag, I'm going to wait a couple seconds after it's glued on, paper off, and then glue it onto the quilt, then stitch it down. That way there's no bubbling underneath it. It'll be 100% adhered to the quilt, and it ain't going anywhere. This is my other way of doing things. So let me...
Hi, Ellen. Ellen says hi.
Hello. So I'm going to make sure that this is nice and flat first, because I've been throwing it around. I'm going to put the paper glue side down on top of it. You probably can't see, but if you know anything about applique, I'm going to put this iron on here, glue it on, a couple seconds. Literally. I'm going to let it dry. Because it needs to cool down before you take the paper off. And then
Teresa says, don't touch the sticky side.
Yeah, I'm going to mark this with a erasable pen. Huh? That's the word I was looking for. We're going to go
12 3/4
in.
Yep.
We're going to make a mark on the quilt. And then 12 up. And make a mark on the quilt. Right here. And this will erase when I, this mark will erase when I pin, or when I put the tag on here. Why can't I think? Because I'm a moron right now. All right, so now you should be able to, come on, score the back of this with a pin and then peel it off. And yes, it is also on top of the interfacing that I put the words on with. So now this whole thing should be shiny because there's glue on it. Look at that. It goes pretty quick. Make sure I tore all the paper off. Now I'm going to take this over to the ironing board. Make sure that everything is where I want it.
Just quick iron it right there.
I'm not going to iron it right here. It'll ruin my mat.
Oh, I thought the quilt would protect it.
Nope.
Well then here, do you want me to pull it over for you?
I'll reline it up when we get over here. All right, so I'm going to glue it on facing the correct way that I want it. Right there, right there. It's nice and square.
Hey, says ahead of me. What did I miss?
Nothing. All right, here we go. Gluing it on. It is permanently going to be adhered to this quilt, as well as I'm going to be ironing or sewing through it. All right. See? It is now permanently on and my marks are off, so it's glued on. Obviously the corners didn't glue as good because the paper didn't stick, but I'm just going to be sewing it down anyway. And I have the same color thread that I quilted it with so that I could sew it on. Sometimes I do tags like this, sometimes I do not, but this is just one of those quilts that I threw it on this way. So now I'm just gonna bring this up on under here.
Kim's teasing us. She says both pans of her fudge are done, and Mary says I'll be over. Kim says come ahead.
All right, so now I am going to sew on here, and I know there is vinyl underneath, so it's not going to. Is the camera even facing me? It kind of looks like it's facing that way.
Yes.
It's not. I'm sewing an eighth.
Everything
of an inch.
up to your spool. The
Okay.
spool on over is in. So
I'm
your
going to be
hand and
sewing an
everything.
eighth of an inch from the edge.
Do you want me to turn in more so you have the whole sewing machine in?
No, you don't have to. I didn't know if I was visible. That's all.
Yes. Yes. I know what I'm doing when it comes to my job.
I'm going to pull my bobbin thread up because I kind of don't want. Let's see if I can't grab that. I don't want to tangle on the other side. There we go.
You only let me do a few things. I got them down. Don't you worry.
All right. And I'm going to change my stitch length on here to the 3mm because it's like 10 stitches per inch. I'm going to back stitch and I'm going to sew on. And hopefully on the other side I am landing, not on the vinyl.
Did you look at the other side at all?
No, I did not.
Well, you should have at least looked at the other side before just running, huh?
Okay. I don't care.
Run what you brung, right?
Turn it.
Kim says picky boss, isn't she? Yes, she is.
Ah.
Slave driver over here.
All right. Turn the whole thing again. That's so much work.
Should I help you turn it?
Nope.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. Kim says, but we love her. Yes, we do.
You know how I could tell I'm sewing on vinyl? Because it doesn't go through across the table as good. And then I just pull it the opposite way because I'm not going to try to shove this whole thing into the throat of the machine.
Hi, Robbie.
Turn it around.
Robbie says, I finally made it to
Hello.
alive.
Turn the whole thing around, and I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to make sure that there's nothing under here in the way. So I don't want to sew the quilt to itself. I've done that before. Let me tell you. And now, instead of breaking my thread, I'm going to snip my thread. pull it away and see what it looks like on the other side, because it looks amazing on this side. Oh, that's perfect. It went right between. It didn't land on it. It just was right here. Look at that.
That is perfect. You did good.
So
You did very well.
the tag from the front side, it just went right here. You can't even see the stitching now because it's in between. It didn't even land on the vinyl. That's the good part about measuring. And then it landed in the ditch on this side. And then it went across the top as if I was stitching anyway. And then it went underneath the vinyl on this side. So that's good that you measure around or in if you're adding a tag like this. And then from the back side, there's the tag. It looks nice. It's sewn on all the way around. It ain't going anywhere. It is also glued to the quilt. So it is on there for good. So,
Forever and ever and ever.
It is a permanent tag. Now to bind. Okay. If I can find a, there we go, a side to start with. So I'm going to stitch it onto the back, flip it to the front type thing, same as I do anytime I bind.
Kim says the back looks great.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Especially around that 43. It may be backwards to read it, but it actually looks
It looks awesome, puffed out like
Yep. All right, so I'm going to grab the end of my binding somewhere down here on the floor. There's got to be an end somewhere. There's one. And same with any binding, even if you're using sheets or the leftover of your sheets, the side that is folded faces out. The side that is on the fold faces in. So the open side goes out, away. And I should have no seam landing in, seam landing in the corner when I get that far. And I'm just going to sew it on like anything else. It's just bigger because this is very thick of a quilt. So hopefully it goes pretty quick.
I heard some bodacious Hawaiian Christmas shirts for the kids.
Bodacious.
And they came today. She can't wait until they all wear them on Christmas. Yes, she said bodacious.
Interesting. So I'm just going to straighten it up and sew it on all the way around. This is a really nice quilt. What?
Are we going to use it again? Yeah, I'm going to try and plug it now.
Oh, yeah, you can unplug it for now. Yeah.
It's beautiful. You are quite talented, Tiffany. Quite talented.
How many friends are here today?
This says 36. This says 36. But it changes up and down a lot. Now it says 34.
Coming a 1/4 inch away from the edge, and I'm just folding my...
Bye, Teresa. She's getting ready to leave.
Okay, bye, Teresa. We'll see you next time. I'm making a crease with my thumbnail here to where I can drop my needle because I don't want to come in from the end because of the other quilts the other day. Let me tell you, that was frustrating because I couldn't get that corner to turn. I have an itch in my arm. What's the weather like? How many of you are getting snow? The dreaded snow. Let's see who has the most snow. What are you at inch-wise?
Well, they were
Guess
talking
what we're
about
at?
getting snow last night.
0. Guess what we are going to get this winter? 0. Guess how much rain we've had? Guess how much rain we've had all year? 0. I want it to rain at least this year before it's over. It says, actually, what was it, Christmas Day? It said it was going to be cloudy with some rain, huh?
I don't know. You
thing,
told me that
remember?
it was going to be nice on Christmas.
Or maybe it was the day before Christmas, Christmas Eve.
Kim
I don't
says
know,
it's
one of
cold
those
and windy
days.
here, no snow.
It's windy here and cold. Well, probably not.
Not
Your
cold
kind of
for
cold.
them. Cold for us.
Yes, very cold for us. For me, especially. So cold that now I have a heating blanket on my bed and Scott turned the house heater on for me because I'm that cold.
Emily says, I wish I had snow. Jim says our snow almost all melted off again. Robbie says cold and windy there, no snow. Harold says cool and sunny in Florida.
That works. Almost to second corner.
Linda says we only have 2 inches in Temperance, Michigan.
I stop a 1/4 inch from the edge and I fold it up.
Nancy said some places have 40 inches. No way, where?
Already?
You
Oh
mean
my
throughout the
goodness.
whole year?
For the whole year, maybe. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Last year, 2019, the city an hour away from us, or town, whatever you want to call it, got 18 inches of snow total.
Where?
In Kingman last year.
Hmm.
Its total was 18 inches.
That's through the whole year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
At once they got the 12 inches, remember? The
Yeah.
snowstorm.
I lived in Pennsylvania before I moved. We got a ton. No snow in Kentucky, says Brenda. Some flurries yesterday. Just the snow globe. Robbie says, Scott, I live a half hour from Kim, and we are friends. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah,
Robbie
Robbie
know
and Kim,
each other.
yes. Yeah, they know each other. I could have told you that.
Nancy said, yeah, it was a storm. She can't remember where, but overnight.
Wow. That's a lot of snow.
Yep. We had a blizzard, like I said, and we had so much snow you couldn't open the front doors. The doors to the houses, so it can happen. I told you that night when I was a little kid, we were snowed in. We had to get out the second story. Our house was more than one floor. We had to get out the windows on the second floor. He said it was in New York State someplace.
Oh, that's crazy. My aunt lives in New York. She gets snow where she lives.
No snow there in Kentucky, says Nancy.
Don't know why I have an obsession with hearing about or seeing snow, but I don't like to be in it.
Emily says I'm right outside of Chicago, so it can be snowing one day and 70 the next. That is weird.
Isn't Chicago also known as the Windy City?
Yeah, I think that's its nickname or something.
Well, we have the same nickname because we have the Windy City here, like Havasu.
But honey, the old saying, it's only windy 2 times a year here. 6 months from the north and 6 months from the south.
Yeah, exactly.
She says it's Windy City for the politicians. Brenda's in Louisville. Robbie says that sounds like Missouri weather.
Also, when I'm done with this quilt, I'll be able to hold both of them up so that you guys can see the minute differences between the both of them.
Don't eat, don't lie.
Does he want to make a debut or something? I mean, seriously.
He's trying to eat all the wires.
You gonna come say hi? Come here. Come say hi, fat cat. How are you, fat cat? He's just down there playing on the floor with Scott. It's funny. I probably will have to roll another bobbin before I get to that part for going around to the front side. I totally had to bring in the thread. The thread that I'm using is the Glide Cool Gray that I quilted this whole thing with.
Brenda says hi, honey.
Hello.
Hey, Brenda.
My arm. Sorry, I have MS and I get these weird itchings on my body, and sometimes it itches to the point where I scratch myself so raw I bleed and or break capillaries on my skin, and I just make a disaster of my skin, and it's all because the nerves are saying one thing, but I actually probably don't even itch there. I probably itch somewhere else. It's just the one spot that I'll keep going back to until my brain is satisfied with the sensation of scratching. It's weird. Get it all over my whole body. I have to fix some stitches right here with some free motion. If I can remember that, that's where that is.
Where?
Right
Show me.
here. Where did I just have it? I just shoved it out of the way too. Right here.
Yeah, 43?
No, it's a totally different area, but due to the fact that I want to remember, I'm going to throw a pin in it so that when I am done, I can come back with some free motion quilting in that spot.
Yeah, it's right above the 4. See, I could remember that. You're 43. It's right above the 4. This is the 4.
Oh,
It's 2 inches away from the 4.
okay.
I could have remembered it. I could have remembered it.
All right, am I on the last one?
Awesome.
So here's my last corner, and then once I'm done, I go downside just a little bit, and then I'll be able to trim. And because I used a different size binding on this, which is the 2 3/4 instead of 2 1/2, that's all I have to do is change my brain to know when I trim it.
Who is it? Lexa got me this shirt? I think
Yes.
Lexa got me this shirt a few years ago
For Father's Day.
For Mr.
I think it
Father's
was
Day
Father's
or
Day,
whatever.
I think. Pretty sure.
And Boba Fett and just a stormtrooper on. Years ago I was much bigger though, and I couldn't really fit it. Now that I lost so much muscle, now the shirt fits me. And I hardly have any shirts that fit me now. Because all my other shirts are double X's.
To think I wear the same size shirt as my husband now. Or he wears the same size shirt
yes.
as me.
Yes. Now we wear the same size, huh, Tiffy?
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to stop right here. And then I'm going to flatten it out. And see, all I needed was those 4 strips. That's the cool part about using your leftover from the quilt. So those of you that are curious, you can do it with any leftovers from your backing fabric. So I'm going to lay this right here, nice and flat. I'm going to lay this over it. I'm going to grab my bigger ruler because it has 2 3/4 on it. I'm going to line the 2 3/4 inch line up on the ruler at the edge of this. So this is laying flat, as flat as can be. We're going to put 2 3/4 on the edge of that. And then I'm going to bring this over it and do the same thing I do with any other binding.
Kim says I used to wear Dave's shirts. He said I deformed them.
It's the boobs. All right, and that's how much I have left, and I really could care less because I'm never going to use it again. And now all I have to do is hook these two together. Get this out of the way. I'm going to put that facing up. Bring this up to it. Just like this.
The tablet is off, but the phone says you're still on. So
Right sides together. And I'm going to sew from one corner to the next, which is very, very hard, but easy to do at the same time because I've done it so many times. Be nice if I had a smaller stitch length. It's all nice and flat. Put it on my line. Come on. Stay. There we go. Sometimes you just have to hold the quilt a certain way. Make sure it's correct before I chop anything off, and it is. So I'm just going to come back here and chop 1/4 inch away. Trying to make it nice and flat. Notice I do that most of the time with no pins. I'm also going to finger press the seam to one side. And then open it up. And everything should lay nice and flat.
I got this to reload.
Just come out of it. Bring here. Scott doesn't know how to use the iPad thingy.
The tablet?
It's an iPad.
Okay. The tablet to me. I don't care fancy. Oh, okay. I could have done that.
Slide it down.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what you did.
And it's probably because this is lost internet signal.
Yeah. Phone says you're still live, but this is completely done. So it makes reading comments hard because you got the phone way back here. Now I can't see anything back here.
Okay. Now I'm just going to sew that last portion, and then we're going to flip it over and sew it. Actually, I think I'm going to take care of those stitches real quick before I do that. Ta-da! So now it's all the way on. I'm going to find my pin real quick. I'm going to put it in the throat of my machine. I'm not even going to bother switching out the feet to a free motion because that's just too much work. I'm just going to find where I need to fix the sewing. Make sure nothing is in the way.
It's really not going to load.
I'm going to do it the same as I would with free motion quilting by bringing up my bobbin thread. And then drop the foot down. Feed it manually. And then find my way around this. Alright. Glad I noticed that. Now it's fixed. Come on. Come on. Nice and fixed. Let's find the front side. trim the thread, and there we go. I didn't even need to change out to a free motion foot. Whew. Now the fun part, sewing it to the front. Sewing the binding to the front side, and then it will be done. So done.
And that'll be 2 down.
Okay. I'm going to start at a corner. So I'm just going to fold it on, taking it from the back, folding it to the front. You guys have seen me do this so many times in so many videos. I know you know how. But those that are curious on a quilt and thicker batting and stuff like that, it's exactly the same thing. And then I'm just going to put this under here and start stitching right at the edge of the binding all the way around. And I'm using the stitch length is 3 millimeter, which is like 10 stitches per inch. I'm not going to change any of that. Just mitering my corner here. Took a couple stitches, folding it over, take a couple stitches.
You're good on that mitered corner thing. You know, Tiff?
What?
You're good on that mitered corner thing.
Yeah, I think I do a pretty good job, Huggies. Sometimes I struggle though. I'm not perfect. And some of my basting stitches are going to come out as well because they're just there. I'll just fold this over and sew. And the extra cut in the binding, the fact that I cut it bigger, is allowing for a little bit more leeway when it comes to the thick batting.
Oh, I think I got comments again. Diane says hi.
Huh?
Diane says hi.
Hello, Diane.
She's on.
Are you feeling any better than last night?
Is anyone on here today that got their packages in the mail?
No, everybody
Today,
that got
today's the day.
today, everybody should have got packages. Most of you.
Becca should have got hers. Yeah, she was on last night talking about it. She should have got hers today.
What?
Becca should have gotten her package today. She was on last night talking about it, remember?
Yeah.
Diane says she's feeling a little bit better, but she can't eat.
Oh, that sucks. Hopefully you get better. All of you that are not doing so well, hopefully you get better. I'm not, my legs are not happy, but I'm making do because I have to, because I want this done before Christmas. That way I can start on my next client quilt. As I told you guys, I got another quilt order, so.
Oh, Lisa Peg is here. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
She just woke up from a long winter's nap.
Fun. That's probably what I'll do after this, is take a nap. Eat something and then take a nap. Or watch another movie with Scotty.
It's up to you.
Choices, choices.
Which one's the movie to run? I don't care.
I don't know. All right, coming up to mitered corner number 2. It goes pretty quick, as you guys can see. I'm hoping that the bobbin lasts all the way around though, because I did not put a full bobbin in here. It was what I had left over from the last quilt.
Kim says, are you in a kerchief or cap?
It's funny.
Diane says the quilt looks good. I'm impressed.
I am too.
It's
I like
very
it.
nice.
He's sniffing.
He's really interested in this quilt room.
It's because he's not allowed in here normally.
Nancy says I'm ready to take a long winter's nap.
I always say I wish I could sleep the day away, but technically I never sleep a whole day because I can't sleep more than an hour or two at a time. I think this binding matches the quilt better than the other one did. It just blends in with this gray on the outside, you know? So you guys will have seen me make quilt two quilts. The only thing is you're seeing me bind just one of them and tag just one of them. So technically you saw the whole entire process of both quilts. Besides all the extra ironing the fabrics onto the interfacing. Woo! That was a lot of hard work. Someone knocking at the door?
Me mess with him.
Oh, it sounded like a knock. I was gonna say, I don't see anybody out there.
I can go check the front door, but I didn't hear no knocking.
Hey. So for those that missed my chat the other night, but I will let you all know, Sunday, for Sew Sunday this week, is my 100th Sew Sunday episode. That means I have been doing Sew Sundays for over 2 years, and I'm going to do a little fun stuff on Sunday, not extra, because I really got to get things done around here, but we'll have a little bit of fun to celebrate. Because Sew Sunday is one of the main things that I never take a break from. I mean, it's very rare. One time I was in the hospital and another time I was super sick with pneumonia. Other than that, I usually go on and it's just question and answer days or something, but I don't ever miss Sew Sundays. So it's a milestone for me to have that many episodes of Sew Sunday. So Sunday will be fun. We'll do something fun. How many of you have been watching since I started my Sew Sundays? Curious. Is your chat not working? Because it's been quiet.
As far as I know, it's working, but no one's saying anything. Lisa said she's wearing her kerchief because they asked if she'd run a kerchief for her cat. And Nancy and Diane both have been watching you from the beginning of your Sew Sundays. Carol has.
It's so awesome that you guys have been here that whole time. All right, 2 more sides.
James Miller has. Janice, sorry. Probably pronounced it wrong. Tim's only been watching you over a year. Jim's getting caught up. He says, I'm getting caught up.
I got to look at the exact date again, but there's an exact date that I started making quilt related videos on YouTube. Other than that, I guess Sew Sunday will be my most celebrated, keeping the sewing on a Sunday thing going. You sure have had a lot of me over the last couple years.
He lets Jim says he lets the older episodes run when there's no lives in the evening.
That's awesome. Good.
Well, that's awesome of you, Jim. Thank you.
Ooh, it looks like a little, like a deer right here. Huge antlers. That's what I like doing when I told you guys last night when I'm making, when I'm doing it.
Oh,
leg,
yes,
leg,
it is.
leg, and then there's a head, and then there's a big like
see.
antler.
I see.
It's like when you go outside and you're cloud gazing, you lay out on like a hammock or a chair or something and you just stare up at the clouds and you randomly see shapes and stuff. That's kind of what it's like looking at the meander, especially a wide meander, because it's like, ooh, that looks like a duck, that looks like a chicken. You know what I mean? You get all these different things and it looks really cool. Got a half a chewed dog bone right here. Can make all sorts of fun things out of it.
Carol says, I didn't start with you, but I've watched since I started. I'll watch even if I don't go into the chat.
That's great. Awesome. Glad so many of you stick around.
Heather says hi.
Hello. I'm glad that you guys stick around even for the boring and sloppy old videos.
Heather says it's a hot, muggy morning in Queensland, Australia.
Oh, that sucks.
It's summer there.
Yep, I know. And for those that are curious, I am snipping away the basting stitches. Sometimes I leave them in here, but most of the time, if they're really, really easy to grab, I grab them. All right.
Jim says duck, duck, goose. Heather says, I save all your videos so that I can repeat whenever I want to.
That's cool.
Diane says, I love those old videos with Squeak.
Okay, come on. Snip, 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 snip.
She's trying her best to retire Squeak, Diane, but he still works great for me.
He's gonna go work in the garage. I need to clean up my space out in the garage so that I can have my cutting table back out there, because it's so much easier to cut out there than it is in here.
Oh, Nancy says, I love watching your videos. I have no family here, and it helps with the loneliness.
Aw.
Sorry to hear that, Nancy, but thank you.
Now you guys have Scott's voice all the time in the background, too.
I don't know if that's anything to say and brag about. My voice isn't
I just
very melodic, whatever the word would be.
You have a loud voice,
Very
but
melodic.
I tell you that all the time.
Yes, I know. It's because you constantly can never hear what I say, so I talk louder and louder and louder. Kim is getting caught up on your 25-piece block videos.
I know, and I need to get to making more of those, but I need to get another editor for so that I can start making them again instead of doing them live, because they turn out, they get more views when they're made as a video, because you can pause and whatever. Live stream ones, they get views afterwards, but I just ramble through them, so it's best if I just make them on a regular video and then upload them.
Yes, Diane, Squeak is a good old boy.
So I'm on the final stretch here on this side. Last side to do.
Nancy says I love hearing you too, Scott. I don't know about that. My voice isn't anything pretty to listen to.
I'm hoping to get Maxine over here soon so that we can start our little mommy and me series. It's going to be just a video series, just a couple of videos, however long it takes for Maxine and me to make something.
She was supposed to be here yesterday, so who knows? Maybe she'll come today.
I'm not starting anything till these are done. The one that I'm sitting against included.
Janice says, funny things we remember. Squeak was a dear friend.
Yeah. I'm wondering what I'm going to make because I already had McSteamy. Remember?
Yes.
But I don't know what happened to McSteamy. I think it's got something on it, like some kind of white substance that... Oh no, McSteamy got interfacing on it. That's what it was. I ironed it the wrong way accidentally. That's why I need to clean my irons.
Lisa says, I like the Tiffy oldies. I remember the first time I heard Squeak.
I was in the garage. Everyone was like, what's that sound? I'm like, it's my iron. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm going to have to take it apart. And then I took it apart and I still didn't know what was wrong with it. I thought it was clogged. It wasn't clogged. It was just squeaks for me.
Diane says your fabric is beautiful.
Oh, on this?
I think you can talk about that.
All right, this is the last of it. About 20 more inches or so. Something like that.
Nita says that I have a nice voice. We both go well together. She enjoys listening.
It's funny.
I don't know, Tiffany.
All right, last.
Mary says that I am kind and helpful. Well, I try, Mary. Thank you.
All right, almost to the end, and I didn't have to play bobbin chicken. Oh, I better not say that now.
Yeah, it'll happen right while you're at the end.
Right?
Well, you're saying that.
Ta-da! It didn't happen, so I did not play bobbin chicken today.
Oh, she's saying she meant the fabric Maxine gave you.
Oh,
It's
yes.
very pretty. That's
It
what
is.
she was talking about.
It is.
It's like very bright and colorful
Yes,
pastels. It looks like Eastery to me, but it would work for, I guess.
Very
anything.
bright colors. We're either going to add more to it or get some more of something else, because this pink is a little bit different than those pinks, but we'll figure it out, or I'll just put this in my stash and we'll add to this, you know. I don't know what exactly we're going to do, but I know what we're going to do. I just can't tell you guys yet. All right. And I'm stepping on something. What is this from?
I don't know. What is it?
A bolt? Screw?
Oh,
With
could
a
be
nut?
from your desk. CJ, is this one of the screws from the desk?
What? Come here.
Nancy says fabric softener
right.
sheets will remove the adhesive. She says, I know. Or run iron over salt or brown paper bag.
Ah.
Interesting.
All right, I'm going to stick that out of the way. This is done. Is this one of the ones to my desk? Because I just stepped on it on the floor. It goes to something and I don't know what. Maybe it goes to my chair even.
It could be. It'll give CJ
All right.
something to do.
I am going
You
to
can figure it out.
hold this up. Watch out, kitty kitty. We're going to turn the camera.
Yeah, I get to do something.
I can't hold it up too tall though because I am there.
Well, we can see a lot of it. Here, do you want me to do it?
Grab that. There we go.
You can see almost the whole thing. I'm turning the camera there.
Can you walk towards you more? Oh, there we go. So there is number 2. I have to go through the whole thing and find all the wild threads. But that's number 2.
Diane says awesome quilt.
So here is a mitered corner. Just want to show you, just so those that are curious. And then the back side, the way it has that stitch that goes all the way around. But this is what, using the wider binding, as you can see, it's still stitched the same distance away.
Diana asks, what size is it?
Let's find out for a fact because they're both the same.
Suburban says they will be thrilled with those. Kim says it looks wonderful. Both will be well loved.
All right, put that down.
Well, they're all saying stuff. I was trying to read.
You can read in 2 seconds. Pull tight. It is 89
long. Whoops. I was trying to stop the thing from falling.
And they're both exactly the same pretty much. So 89 long by 75 wide. So 75, 89. There, you hold up real quick. Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So that I can do a close-up. 2 seconds.
Janice says, beautiful job as usual. The family will enjoy it. Jim says, awesome. Lisa says, the client will be very happy.
So that way you guys can see the quilting better. See that?
Kim says, that looks wonderful. Both will be well loved.
I'm starting to feel like you pulled that screw out for you can just make me home quilt.
Thrilled with those. That's okay, Heather. Heather's
So,
going back to sleep.
Obviously I went around those so you can see how puffy it is. Look at that, it's so puffy.
Carol says, very nice.
And then I
Nancy says,
also
looks great.
have a little penguin that I went around, as well as this guy has a shark. This is actually from the tag of the clothing. Like, I thought that was really neat, you know? All right, so hold on, let me get number 2 so you guys can see the difference.
Says it looks great. Mary's asking what size binding would you use in placemats. She usually uses 2.5.
I usually use 2 1/4 for binding on placemats and things like that.
Okay. She
So
said
here is number 2. So you can see that the 43 on here is up higher. This one has embroidery here, and then down in the bottom corner is the other 43, and then this one also has another tag. This one's quilted in the spirals, which you guys saw in the video. This one's
loops.
bound with the backing, and then you can see that is a very soft.
Oh yes, the
Cotton
back of this is
on the
very
back.
soft.
This is
I
like
like the
super,
backing in
super
this.
soft. It almost feels like flannel soft, but it's not. So that's this one. And they're the exact same size, but I bound this one in the back from this. And again, I used the 2 3/4 inch binding because it was so thick. So on these. So there's that. And I am going to bring you guys to a front facing camera because CJ's down there fixing my chair. It broke, so it's a good thing I didn't fall on my hiney, you know?
Nancy said
You have loose screws. You need to keep an on your stuff.
So that's...
Nancy said she accidentally ironed over fusible and the softener sheet cleaned it right up.
Oh, well, I'll have to go grab a dryer sheet. Can you turn that off over there, CJ?
Go.
Please. I'll have to grab a dryer sheet from the garage and then iron my iron over it. I'm pretty sure that was what was wrong with Mr. McSteamy. So that's that. Can you pass that to me?
What?
That.
The whole quilt?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't understand.
They'll get their quilt with the "in loving memory" written in the front. And then somewhere on the back
Diane said hi
side.
to Cyrus, but he already left.
Yeah, Cyrus already walked out. He was quick. And then the back side has the "in memory of." But I needed to cover more space on this one, so I had to add backing fabric around the tag instead of just sewing the tag directly on like I just did on the other one. But that's okay. You really can't. I mean, it's the same color, so it doesn't look too horrible on this one as opposed to how the other one is. Can I have that one? Let's find the tag on this one. So this one was just like I did just now in this video. I just sewed only the tag on, and I went in from the edge a measurement and then up from the bottom a measurement. And you can see there's empty stitching here. That's because there's a number right here in vinyl on the other side, and I did not stitch through the vinyl. And the tag actually sewed perfectly to the front side without stitching through the vinyl. It went between the 3 and the 4, and then on the seam right here on the side. So you can't even see the stitching for that. And it went along the bottom of this right there. So it's set in, it's quilted, everything looks nice. The backing fabric on this looks wonderful. I actually prefer now this one over the loop-de-loops, but you know, they can't both be the same with the same stitching. And yeah.
You need me? Okay, never mind. You got it.
I just need to snip a thread. I gotta make sure like I tell everyone, you find it, don't yank it. Find the source and snip it. That's how it works with quilts.
Vicky says hi. Hi, Vicky.
Hello. All right, so there it is. 2 quilts. And there's going to be a third of the person's clothes. And there wasn't even that many clothes. You guys saw from the beginning. But once you tear them apart and add a little bit of background fabric, there is lots of quilt.
Diane says they're going to love those.
So I will ask them, I will ask my client if she wants to be on camera, if she's willing to be on camera when she gets these. If not, I can just tell you the experience and how it goes. So we'll find out. There's a dog in our, oh, never mind, it's the neighbors. Anyway, so.
Neighbor's dog gets out every now and then. Is theirs in our yard? I'll go corral him.
No, he's out there.
Okay.
All right, so thank you guys for hanging out. I'm glad you guys watched this whole entire series of me making quilts out of whatever you can clothing wise. So random clothing, chop it up, do what you can, and this is the results you get no matter which way you put it. I don't suggest lots of half square triangles or flying geese or anything with lots and lots of seams coming together, because as you saw on the long arm, even though it is possible to quilt it in this series, you'll see on the long arm, it takes a lot to quilt through all these layers. And the final little quilt that I'm doing is not even part of the series. I'm just going to show you guys how to frankenpiece the batting, and then it's just going to be a pillowcase turnstile, and then I'll put a couple stitches to tack it down in certain areas, but I'm definitely not quilting it because it's so stretchy. So it's just going to be like a throw with no stitching. So just a little bit of tacked stitches, which I'll do on the machine. Other than that, this series is
what
over.
What size were the blocks?
These were, what blocks? These blocks?
The little tiny ones or the big ones?
These ones are 5-inch squares that are now 4.5-inch squares, making a 9.5-inch 4-patch, but I turned them into 9 patches. So if you would look at it carefully, this is a 5-inch, here's a 9-patch right there. So this is a block. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of the t-shirts, and then 3 of my background flannel type looking fabrics. So that is what they are. They are 9 patches. Everything but the flannel type fabrics have the interfacing, which you can put it on all the whole entire quilt. Then it'd be 10 times more heavier than it is, because this woven interfacing is definitely a big thing. But if you were to have turned this into half square, you'd have so many seams, you wouldn't have been able to quilt. I mean, you would, but it would be very hard to get around. So, and then the bigger ones.
Carol says, well done.
These were, if you see in like video 3, when I start piecing it, this is a 9.5-inch square. And then these 3 are their 5-inch squares put together to create one, what would have been a 9 patch. So if you look, this was a 9 patch if this was 4 regular squares. And then the bigger, huger pieces, which are this t-shirt, those are 14 inches, which would have been the whole entire 9 patches finishing size. So you can do this even just with 5-inch squares if you wanted, and add some big squares and some little ones throughout the whole thing. If you wanted focus fabric, if you were just using regular quilt cotton, you could totally put something like this together and be random about it. Yeah, very thick, very heavy, very comfy quilts. I did my best to keep from being really thick in the seams, but again, that's under that. It's out of my control. So that's why I did what I did. So yeah, if you have any questions, ask them now, or else I'm going to get off of here and hang out for the rest of the day, or nap, or eat, or watch a movie with Scott or something. I don't know.
Vicky says I missed it.
And then I'll be on when Becca's on tonight. I'll be on her channel with, hanging out. So yeah, and then that's it. And then tomorrow probably I'll set my machine up on this table that I'm sitting on right now, and we'll franken piece some batting and get that done and out of the way as well. So
Diane says you did great.
thank you guys. I feel like I'm accomplished right now.
Vicky says
Done.
the hubby just woke her up. Boy, today's nap day. Everyone's
Everyone's
napping.
napping. Oh, Friday afternoon must be nap day, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, I thank you guys for hanging out. And if you're new to my channel, head down that way, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, get notifications when I'm live. Don't forget to like, share, comment on my videos. That way YouTube can put me in the algorithm and more people will find me. So thank you for watching this series of making a random clothing quilt. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.